everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Claire. I'm an intuitive, I'm a coach and a conscious creator. And I'm doing these weekly readings just to bring some messages through of love, hope, freedom, whatever comes through. Let's see what happens. Today I have a citrine crystal. I often use a crystal while I read. Um, I just like I said last week, I'm not somebody who knows a lot about astrology. I don't know a lot about crystals because I'm an intuitive and everything. I'm drawn to things intuitively. I don't even always know why, but this is the crystal I've been drawn to. I looked it up now. It is a yellow citrine, apparently, and it repels the negative energy. It brings about more positivity and joy, but it felt like just the right crystal. To me, it doesn't always matter what the message is. I use a lot of rose quartz in my work. So, yeah, you can let me know if you enjoy your crystals and like if you feel like they do something for you. I feel like they do something for me. Everybody asks me about this one, and I don't even know what it's called. I chose it because of the color and the feeling. It felt like something that I needed with me. And I feel like the message there and why I'm sharing this is because I feel like we are all being called to a more intuitive journey. I say this over and over, but I'm going to say it again, getting out of our head and into our heart. It doesn't matter why we choose a crystal, just do it. Just trust it. Just do it. It doesn't matter why we do the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. Let's just trust it, do it, and go for it. Okay, so let's get started with our reading. Let's see what comes through. I'm going to start just by closing my eyes. I normally do this before I start recording, but I thought today I'll do it in the recording just to show you how I begin. I've lit a candle. I have my crystals with me, which I always do. I've got my cards with me already. And then I close my eyes. I tap in. I call in my guides, my angels, and I ask to bring through messages for the highest good for all, messages of love, messages of healing, whatever needs to come through. So I ask you to take a deep breath in. And if you feel comfortable doing so, call in your own guides and angels and trust any messages that come through for you as I read, because maybe you will interpret things differently to me, which is also fun. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Waite tarot deck, which is the normal, good old-fashioned tarot. And I'm going to do 5 cards today. I hope everyone is well and we are having warmer weather on our side of the world. I hope your weather is good. Okay. So I've got 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first 5 cards and we'll just see what comes through. I read intuitively, so I don't memorize the deck. Just like with the crystals, just like with astrology, I don't like thinking about things and keeping the facts in my brain. I like feeling into it and seeing what comes through as I read. And I found that to be really helpful for me and really beneficial. But again, take it as you take it. So for me, the word I'm hearing for this card is waiting, waiting for something that is already there almost. It's like, what have you been waiting for that you don't need to wait for? It's like the time is now. Um, sometimes it's like he's turned his back on reality almost. Everything you need is in front of you, and he's waiting for something. It reminds me of this visual I had when I did a meditation this week of sitting on top of a mountain and looking at a view for 100 years. No, let's say like 10 years. And then one day you decide to go to the other side of the mountain and you're like, how has this been here the whole time and I've never seen it? And we spoke about the Hanged Man last week or the week before, which to me is a similar vibe. It's like seeing things from a completely new perspective, and all of a sudden it's just like, whoa, where did that come from? Okay, this is your 3 of Wands, sorry. This one is the 5 of Wands. So for me, what's coming through on this card, it's like a feeling of everybody trying to do the same thing and getting nowhere. It's a feeling of that running on a hamster wheel. So maybe you feel it, and I feel like it's very much linked to the waiting for something to happen and running on a hamster wheel and feeling like you're going nowhere. It's a feeling of like maybe it's time to get off the hamster wheel, like get off, breathe, tap into your heart, pause. I know last year I was pushing so hard with my work. I wanted to do more readings. I wanted to do all these different things. I created a card deck, which is still coming out, but that will be announced later. But I created this card deck and I did all these things and I was pushing and working and pushing and working. And nothing was going the way that I wanted it to go. It felt like I was running on a hamster wheel. It felt like I had less people signing up for readings. I had less engagement on my Instagram. I had less views when I was doing YouTube videos. And all of it just felt disheartening and I felt depleted. And I also felt like I was in the wrong frame of mind to do anything. And I decided to pull back from everything and just sit with myself and be like, let's just go inward and see, what do I need? Like, I'm trying this and it's not working. So let's see what I can do. And the message was loud and clear. And it was to put everything down, step back, do nothing. And there was such a resistance to that. But I want to keep going. I want to keep going. I want to keep going. But I had so many lessons to learn before I was ready to keep going. There were so many little things that needed to unravel and unfold for me to be able to go, now I'm ready to start again. And the weird part is, I thought, okay, I'm going to stop. And when I come back, it's all going to be new ideas and new things, and I'm going to be on a new path. But I just picked up where I left off. That's how it was for me. It might be different for you. I picked up where I left off and I just carried on moving forward. And I was like, okay. But I had dropped a lot of weight that I'd been carrying about worthiness and self doubt, similar sort of vibe, feeling like I don't really know what I'm doing here. Where am I going with this? And a lot of that has like unraveled. And I've found myself going deeper into the heart of why I do what I want to do, why I'm doing it. Okay, then we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups to me is always connection to spirit. It reminds me of Holy Spirit, the chalice. I'm almost hearing like raining down from heaven. It's reminding us to connect with, and the reason I'm saying it, the reason it's coming through this way is like so many of us are living day to day and forgetting that we can rely on God, spirit, guides, angels. And I say this probably every reading, like we are all supported, we are all loved, we are all guided. We just need to ask. And there's something here about a new journey of whether you're connecting with a new guide or reconnecting with an old guide, or like picking up a journey again that you've forgotten about. And it might even be a journey you don't even know that you've been on before. like all of our souls were once connected to the creator, God, or whatever you want to say, however it looks for you, spirit, source, higher self, whatever. We were all once connected to that, and we're being called to connect again. It's the memory of connection. And I'm wanting to say, reminding yourself that you can do it. Like, and then if you feel you can't, or if you feel uncomfortable connecting, or you feel like it's not your path because you didn't grow up in a church or grow up in a belief or a faith or whatever, allowing yourself to be like, okay, but I'm also human. I'm on this earth. And we're all connected. All of us are connected. We don't need permission to connect. We don't need a faith, a religion, a belief. I believe we just find our own path, our own relationship with God, creator, whatever. And then I feel like if it's hard to connect, that's where I was going, tapping into that feeling of why is it hard to connect? Let's sit with that first. Because every resistance that comes up to anything we want to do, any intention we set, whether it's with career, relationships, God, money, whatever, anything that we, any intention that we set to move forward, when there's resistance to that intention, so when we visualize ourselves, let's say, making more money, like stepping into a new career path, stepping into a new relationship, whatever it is, connecting with God, whatever feels like it's in the way, whatever's creating resistance, that's the starting point. So often we are told to like push forward, like put on a smile, brush it off, keep going. Like, and I believe from the work I do and with myself and others, the I don't want to say the quickest way, the most effective, deepest way to keep moving forward is to stop with that resistance and allow it and feel it fully and let that resistance be part of your life first. And breathe into it and just let it be there. It's telling you something. And when you're able to unlock it, it reminds me of like those TV games where you have to unlock each level to get to the big boss. And if you just want to go straight to the big boss, you're not going to get there. That's a bad. You see, I don't play a lot of TV games, but you know what I mean. You get the idea. Okay, so this is the 10. Yeah, 10 of wands. Again, very much the same feeling of picking up more than you can carry. Like, here we are waiting for something to happen that's already happened. Here we're running on the hamster wheel. And here we're just trying too hard to do too much too soon instead of just putting everything down and trusting the work that we've done. So this is is it 8? Yes, 8 of Pentacles. For me, this card always means, yes, you might be working on something. Don't forget all the work you've done beforehand. You've done so much to get here. In whatever area it is in your life, it's like I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders, trying a million projects, and this is saying focus on one thing at a time. Take it slow. Remember what you've done in the past. Every past failure, every past lesson, every past win, every past experience guides us to glory. That's the words I just got, but guides us to greatness, to ourselves. Okay, I'm clarifying with the Light Seers Tarot. Is that what it's called? I always forget what everything. Light Seers Tarot. Oh, and I got this card today when I did a reading for myself, and I think we had this one last week. Okay, so I'm clarifying our first card, which was the Three of Wands, the waiting. And let's see what comes up for that. And we get this similar feeling of a card. So we have, this is the Five of Swords. And for me, this card always means focusing on, it's like focusing on the mental chatter, focusing on the bad, focusing on all the reasons we can't do things, and forgetting, just like him needing to turn around and see that he's already there. Our minds can be so powerful and can take up so much of our day. And there he's free. He's like, fly away. Focus on what you have. Focus on where you are. Focus on now. Focus on, yeah. Focus. What are you waiting for? Focus on now. It's that sort of feeling. I haven't done this clarifying before. I know a lot of tarot readers do it online, and I thought it might be fun to try something different. So I'm clarifying the Five of Wands with the Seven of Pentacles. So Seven of Pentacles energy is you've planted the seeds and now they're ready to grow. You've planted the seeds and sure, it looks like nothing now, but the roots are deep. The roots are deep. And here we said the hamster wheel. So carrying on, like trying to get somewhere and feeling like you're going nowhere. It's that feeling of I've planted so many seeds and that's all I've got. But we forget what's underneath. We forget that we've planted so much and we need to just trust what's underneath all of that. Okay. Well, Ace of Cups with the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles energy, sorry, very much sure of herself, sure of her connection, sure of her worth. What else is coming through in this card? it's almost like allowing yourself to dream, allowing yourself to look, as I was speaking about the intentions we set, and then sometimes there's resistance to the intentions, and then we look at the resistance. It's equally allowing ourselves to dream bigger. So dream, sometimes that resistance can also keep us stuck in only dreaming small. And it reminds me of a game that I sometimes play with myself, or sometimes when I'm coaching, I encourage people to play with their goals as if it's not a big deal. Like, let's play with it. Let's see where we want to go. Let's think of the absolute, like, even if you think you'll never get it, let's talk about and think about and feel in our bodies what it would be like to reach your absolute top goal that you want to reach. And sometimes you learn a lot of things when you sit with your biggest goal, with your biggest dream, intention for your life. Sometimes it shows you things you don't expect. And I'm only saying that because it's happened to me, where I've said to myself, okay, you're trying so hard. You're trying so hard and you keep feeling paused and stuck. Okay, let's dream about the biggest thing you could possibly want. Then what do you want? Let's dream bigger, bigger, bigger. And I try and make it bigger and bigger. And often there's resistance. No, I can't want that. No, I can't want that. And sometimes it'll be like, I'm trying to think of an example now. um, okay, let's say like for schooling my kids, lots of free time to enjoy spending time together, having loads of time to just be and enjoy each other's company. And then I say, what's bigger than that? Going overseas and traveling as a family and learning as a world schooler. And then what's bigger than that? Like, I don't even know. Like, and then as I keep going, I'm like, wow, these are dreams I didn't know I had. And the bigger we dream, sometimes our immediate intentions don't feel so unattainable anymore. Or I don't know, that's just the way it's coming through. I don't know if that's helpful. I don't know how I wanted to say that, but I hope that was helpful. And it's funny because with all of this, we get the sun. And I got the sun earlier today for someone. And I feel like it's asking us to look at the sun, to stand in the sun, like literally standing in the sun, and allowing ourselves to say, like, for some reason I'm feeling stuck as I'm speaking today. I think because I'm trying something new. Um, allowing ourselves to dream and like I don't even broaden our horizons, broaden the horizons with other things. Like, what else can I think of? Where else can I go? Similar to what I just said for the other card. Trying so hard, so often there are people who are holding on to limiting beliefs about what they can and can't do. And when I started learning more about limiting beliefs, I didn't realize how many I had, and there were tons, specifically about things like, let's say, as a woman, what you can do, as a normal human being. Like, I'm not anyone famous, I'm not anyone special, I can't do this, I can't. Like, let's say, for instance, when I wanted to write a book, it was like, well, I can't write a book. The beliefs in me were like, you need a agent, you need a publisher, you need this, you need that. And I had to sit with those and break them down. You need to write perfectly. And the more I broke it down, the more I was like, no, I'm just going to write. And I wrote and I self-published and I hired someone to edit. And what I'm saying is, sometimes the solution is not what we think it is. It's something that unlocks our potential in ways we never expected, because we're looking beyond our beliefs. Okay, and the last one, clarifying the Eight of Pentacles with the High Priestess, which is a beautiful card. And the High Priestess is reminding you, like we said, reminding you of the gifts you already have. But High Priestess energy is reminding yourself of how worthy you actually are. It's not an ego-based feeling. It's a stepping into your divine rightful power. It reminds me a bit of what I said here. Sometimes people think, well, spiritual connection is only for these people. I can't do that. It's for everyone. It's for everyone. It's for everyone. It's for everyone. We are all rising together. There is so much growth happening, and we're all rising in relation to one another. So you might find you're going through something and you hear someone else is going through something similar, because the energies are inviting us. There's no like puppet mastery, inviting us to connect, to make decisions along our path that bring us lessons and experiences and connections and. So see what that means for you. Okay, so those are clarified. That was interesting, different, interesting. Okay, and now I'm going to read from the Ascended Masters Oracle deck, and I'm just going to pull 3 cards, 3 more messages. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, and 1 more card. Yeah. And the first one is to nurture yourself, which is Mother Mary. And it's that deep nurturing, that deep connection even to Mother Mary, and calling in nurturing love, compassion. It's reminding me of the hard parent versus the nurturing parent, and how, okay, so hard parenting, or like tough love parenting, extreme discipline parenting, is not where was I going with this? Sorry. Today my reading feels very different to normal. Sorry. Hard parenting is not the way that life has to be. So it's bringing through a message that I've been thinking about the whole week. Sensitive children who are nurtured, who are allowed to be sensitive, sensitive people who are nurtured and allowed to be sensitive, are showing us where things in the world are not working anymore. That's the way I'm seeing it. That's the way it's coming through to me. But what I'm trying to say, I guess, children have needs that are showing us the needs of the world that have been disallowed, because we're like, no, you can't need that. No, you can't want that. No, you can't have that. You need to be a certain way. This is the way society is. And children and sensitives are showing us, this is hurting me, or this is uncomfortable for me. Something needs to change. So kids who struggle with the school system, kids who will come home and like they're dysregulated, they feel they're too sensitive, things are too much for them, they're showing us this doesn't work. I find the further I go on my journey, the harder it is to go into systems and not feel like I've been to doctors before where I have felt not heard, not validated, not seen, and just treated as like another number. And it brings up the feeling again of, as a sensitive person, I am allowed to have care that feels nurturing. I'm allowed to have care that validates. And a lot of people will say, oh, just take it as it is. That's how it is. And I'll go, thank you. I'm going to see if I can find someone else. And then I always do, because I give myself that permission. That's what I'm saying. Permission to choose softer, permission to choose more nurturing. And that comes from allowing yourself to be nurtured from within. If we keep fighting with ourselves, criticizing ourselves, you're not enough, you shouldn't be thinking this, you shouldn't be doing this. I'm allowed to feel. I'm allowed to be angry. I'm allowed to be sad. I'm allowed to be soft. I'm allowed to feel too much from the world, and then take time to myself and just, okay, which has been my life. So, okay, balancing career and home life. I mean, it says it right here. You can see what it means, balancing career and home life. But there's a sense of I'm going to say here, there is a sense of ancient wisdom, ancient learning. And this is not just a simple balanced career and home life. Like, we know what that is. Like, make sure you're not working too much. Make sure you're not home too much and your work is suffering. You know, you get it. It's self-explanatory. But what's coming through here is past life or childhood wounding that is preventing the balance because of deeper wounds. And that's where we need more grace and more like softness, to say that's okay. I can't force myself to have a work-life balance. It comes back to making decisions that people will say, using their heads, I need to do more of this. Have you ever tried, like, I need to drink more water, or I need to spend more time in nature, but it doesn't happen? Why doesn't it happen? Because it's not as simple as just deciding it. Sometimes it is, then great. A lot of the times, changing habits, changing daily things, changing life, changing decisions, changing outcomes comes from deep within. We need to shift the inner things that are holding us back in order to have a work-life balance. It's not just going to happen. And that's what we're being called to do. When we try to have work-life balance, when it feels out of balance, what am I feeling? How does that feel in my heart? When I feel like I'm not spending enough time with family, how does that feel in my body? Sit with the feeling, meditate on the feeling, call in angels and guides to help you, to direct you, to help you to unlock the feelings in order to figure out what do I want to do here? Where do I need healing? How can I keep moving forward while nurturing myself? Okay, and the last one, to listen. And listen is this. We come back to this. Connecting, listening to deep within ourselves, trusting that gut feeling of, what am I going to do here? Okay, I'm going to trust my gut. I'm not going to Google or chat GPT it. I know what I need to do. I'm going to check in with me. I'm going to check in here. And there's a lot of activities and things you can do to develop more intuitive practices, to develop more trust in yourself and your own intuition and your own gut feelings and your own, and working with fear, because fear always comes in when we do intuitive work. What if I don't know? What if I'm wrong? What if I'm just listening to my own mind? Practice. Crystals, cards, prayer, meditation, going within, sitting with feelings. I feel like I say the same things every time, but I don't think I do. It's because it's just like the things that come up. Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to finish with is, there's that saying, and I always do this. I say, there's that saying that I saw, and now I can't remember how it goes, but it's something like, think of what you loved to do as a child. Think of what you naturally enjoyed doing as a child, and tap into what that translates to now. What do I want to do more of? What am I being called to do more of to feed my soul? And that is where your answer lies. Because if I look back to when I was a child, I played a lot of imaginary games, talking to people that didn't exist. um, uh, I would sit in my room and I would read and I would pray and I would write in my journal and I would make up songs and sing them and I would write stories. And those are all the things I'm still doing now. Those are the things I'm still constantly guided to, drawn to. Those are the things I want to do all the time. They are naturally in my blueprint of my soul. They are what I want to do. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, whatever you got to do. Yeah, I hope these messages reach whoever they need to reach. Goodbye.